History is often shaped by nations, armies, and commanders. But sometimes it bends because of one person. In the frozen hell of the Ardennes, that person was Sergeant David Dave Kowalski, a 24-year-old machinist from Pittsburgh, who would change the fate of an armored SS column. With nothing but scrap, courage, and the mind of an engineer, Kowalski's world began in a small machine shop, where his father shaped steel through noise, heat, and discipline. The boy learned early: machines obey physics, and physics favors those who understand it. This foundation, precision, patience, and stubborn creativity, would later become the backbone of his wartime genius. Like thousands of American men, Kowalski answered the draft notice. His hands were those of a machinist, so the Army made him a combat engineer. It was grueling work, clearing mines, building bridges, and holding ground with tools instead of rifles. But engineers often fought first and last. By December 1944, the 291st Engineers believed their winter would pass quietly. Then the Germans struck. The Battle of the Bulge had begun. Tank columns, Panthers, Panzer IVs, Stooge S, were thrusting into American lines like a steel avalanche. On the night of December 18th, an engineer lieutenant gathered Kowalski's team and pointed a map. "We need those tanks stopped, any way you can." It was not an order. It was a plea. A lesser man would have said the task was impossible. Kowalski simply knelt in the snow and looked around. The battlefield held everything: damaged American gear, shattered German machinery, abandoned cable, broken springs, spare parts. A junkyard of war. He saw not debris, but raw materials. For hours in the freezing dark, he shaped metal with numb fingers, built mechanical linkages, and created a purely physical triggering system. Simple, reliable, elegant. Before dawn, Kowalski and 4 men positioned themselves in a sunken road near Malmedy. They waited. Then the sound came, deep diesel rumbling through the fog. 5 German armored vehicles rolled toward them. The forest didn't breathe. Kowalski's hand tightened on the trigger mechanism. He exhaled, and history turned. German officers were stunned. The damage didn't match standard American methods. Reports claimed secret radio control mines. Some speculated new American technology. But the truth was 5 exhausted engineers and a pile of scrap. Over the next 5 days, Kowalski pushed himself beyond exhaustion. Working by lantern light in barns and ruined farmhouses, he modified, improved, and rebuilt mechanical systems to counter heavier, faster, and more cautious German armor. Each ambush became riskier. Each one demanded more precision. 3 major ambushes followed, and each stalled German momentum, rerouted armored movements, and disrupted SS command timelines. Survivors from his squad later spoke of Kowalski with a mixture of awe and disbelief. To them, he wasn't a hero, just a quiet guy who could make anything work. But they all agreed. His devices saved American lives, including their own. Kowalski never forgot the faces of the young German tankers. Many were teenagers, boys fighting inside steel coffins. "Same age as me," he said in later years. "Only difference is I had a better wrench." This was the weight he carried, the knowledge that his brilliance destroyed machines, but also the people trapped in them. The SS spent precious hours searching the forests for non-existent American radio devices. The confusion rippled through German command networks. Delays that mattered when the bulge was at its most critical. American counterattacks pushed the Germans back. The bulge collapsed. But in the vast machine of war, Kowalski's contribution was never fully recognized. His mechanical ambushes didn't win the battle, but they shaped it. After the war, he returned quietly to Pittsburgh. He reopened his father's shop. He repaired machines, trained workers, raised a family. He never boasted about the 5 days in the Ardennes. That made him a legend among engineers. Sergeant David Kowalski left no monuments, wrote no memoir, and avoided interviews. But in a frozen forest in 1944, his mind, shaped by steel, precision, and duty, halted steel giants, and saved countless American lives. He proved that sometimes the most decisive weapons are not invented in laboratories, but by individuals, fascinant impossible, armed with nothing but ingenuity.